Hello and welcome back to another video, and this year is 2025, and what we're going to go and do is see if we can freshen up the look of our GR Yaris. So this is my GR Yaris that we've been building here on the channel, and this is how it ended up at the end of 2024. So one of the big things to freshen up and change the look of your car is change the wheels. So as you can see right now, we have Motegi MR152s on there, and they're courtesy of Tegiwa, and they're different from the stock wheels. So the stock wheel is like a glittery kind of mirror finish black, not gloss black, but it definitely gives the car, especially in white, kind of a stormtrooper vibe. Changing to a hyper silver wheel like this, it's really changed the appearance of the car. The car is now a lot lighter, it looks a lot more white if I'm honest. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and change these up and see how much of a difference it makes to the car. So let's go for it. So we loaded up the wheels in the back of the GR and we're off to 24 wheels to go in Sutton Coldfield. So we're down here, we made it to a Wheels to Go down in Sutton Coldfield, so really local to me. These guys normally do Porsches and all sorts of high-end stuff. As you can see, we've got the wheels ready to go, and we're going to see exactly how you powder coat some wheels. So I'll hold the colour back until we're ready to show it, so hopefully you'll enjoy this. Here, and literally this is a one-stop shop for pretty much anything to do with your wheels and tyres. We'll start with some of the machines. See, this one here, you'll place the wheel on, and this is for getting out any kind of buckles or any kind of damage. After your wheel's being stripped, it goes into here, so it's kind of bead blasted. There's this media down here, and this basically prepares the surface so it's nice and clean, but also it's got a little bit of a key so the powder coat can stick to it. Over here we have the washdown tank, so once it's stripped to get off all the acids, anything that's left on there, so it's washed down. And this is basically a big washing machine, so but with hot acid. So wheels will go in here and it will be completely stripped down of any previous repairs, any paint on there. There's normally left in there for, I believe, 8 to 9 hours or so. So these are the rotors. These are just going to get stripped off the tyres. The tyres are no good. They lasted us through last summer, or last winter. Just taking out the valves now. Basically like a little whizzer around the top and down the bottom, and that's going to spray acid over all these wheels. So you can see my wheels are probably the brightest set in there. So the wheels were in that tank for 9 to 10 hours, or until the next morning, and they showed us some of the diamond cuts that we're doing. So this is where the wheels painted, and then to use a CNC machine to diamond cut the face off to give that nice mirror finish.
Three days later.
So it is a couple of days later, and we've come back to 24 wheels to go. So they have stripped the wheels and powder shotted the majority of them. So now we're going to see what the difference is between like a stripped wheel and a powder shot wheel. And let's get it prepped and ready for spraying the colour. Here you can see the finish after being stripped. As you can see, it's not perfect. It does have some imperfections, so a bit of sanding, and then it goes into a bead blast machine, which is blasted for about 4 minutes to get the right kind of finish ready to paint. You can see the finish is a lot more uniform after being powder shot. These ones have already been done. You can see they almost look like they've been powder coated satin silver, but they're ready to go for the next step. So as you can see, they've had a base coat of black to allow the colour to pop. plastic on the back hub, and that's just so there's no powder coat goes on those. Now the wheels have been allowed to cure, they go back into the oven for about 20 minutes just to heat them back up to the right temperature, so that we can then do a liquid paint on there, and that's going to be the actual colour rather than the base coat, which will then be adhered on by baking it, and then we'll have a top coat go on. So now we finally get to see what colour I have chosen.
There you go, you can see the final colour. It does have a top coat to go on it. Looks totally different now compared to how it did when it came in. I'm up ready to outgas.
Now we're going to start spraying the top coat, so we're doing a satin finish on this bronze, Imola bronze. Not sure which way around it goes, but you could do a gloss finish, but we decided to go for a satin finish because I think that really sets off the bronze most. This is now a powder coat again, and this is going to be sprayed on, adhered to the paint, and then they're going to go back into the oven to bake for about 20 minutes or so.
And now they're almost back to white. There's a satin lacquer on it. It literally looks like frosting on the wheels.
So you join us a few days later. So advice was just allow the paint to cure for a few days. So I believe we've left it about 4 or 5 days now, and we can have a look at the final results, and then we're going to coat it with a ceramic coating just to keep them the way they are right now and make cleaning easier. So let's check them out. So here you go, you can see the Imola bronze and that satin finish. Looking great. They've marked which ones are the front ones, so front, left and right. We've done all 4, all in the same colour. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ceramic coat them, as I say. Ceramic coat that we're using is Guyon Q-Rim. I've used this before many times and had great results. It's nice and simple and easy to use. So we're going to give these a good coating, and then we'll leave these overnight, and then we'll look at fitting. Oh, and we do have new valve caps and some bits for the centre, so I'll show you those as well. At the moment, these still have some Rally Art valve caps I've purchased online. I'll put the link down below. Some black valve caps, but they have a GR logo on there, so they'll go on there. We've also got we're going to refurbish the centre caps. You'll see that soon. Courtesy of Tegiwa, we have some forged lug nuts as well. And these are a black one. And they'll go in something like that. And look spot on. So let's coat these wheels. With the coating, the instructions are to spread evenly and then buff off. That's what I do here, and then I do actually do a second coat, but leaving it a bit thicker on the barrel, which is the bit that gets the dirtiest and it's hardest to clean, especially on the front of the car, just to give it extra protection and make it a little bit easier to clean in the future. So here you can see these are the original centre caps. They are a gloss finish with some decals on the top. Which is not in the greatest of conditions, so we're going to refurbish these. We have some new centre caps from Print, Peel and Stick. We've got some sandpaper and some satin black paint that we're going to paint these up and try and make these look like new. Gone for the satin finish to match the wheels, as they're also a satin finish, and of course we've got our GR stem caps. So here I removed the original faded caps, and then we're just removing some of the hard glue on there with a little scalpel / knife, and then we're gonna give them a good sand up. Now sanding them down just to give a nice consistent finish. Wasn't the easiest, especially with the little dots on the sides of them, but do your best and try not to sand too hard and go through all the way. So as you can see, we've sanded these down. There is actually a grain on there, but you do have to be careful. You can see that it's kind of copper colour starting to come through. Giving the tops just a sand gives the paint some bite in. These little dots are quite hard to get the sandpaper into, but I've done my best. We're gonna get the paint ready and then let's shoot them with some satin black. With the paint, start off light coats, just working way around. I think I ended up doing about 6 or 7 coats in the end, just keeping it light and building it up. After it starts to dry, it does start to satin up a bit. Between coats of painting we can get the wheels fitted, so we'll start at the rear, so just loosen the lug nuts while the car's on the ground, and then we can jack up the car and take off the rear wheel, and then we can look at trying to fit up the new rotor wheels onto the back of the car. With the wheel off, I'm just removing the spigot ring. We can use the same ones as we had on the Motegi wheels. We're just cleaning up the face of the hub here, just to make it a little bit easier next time we're here. So, and we haven't spoke about tyres, so we've got a brand new set of Goodyear asymmetric 6s. These are a good summer tyre, maybe not a performance tyre, but fine for day driving. Now bear in mind my car is a daily driver, so we are going to be driving in the wet and the cold. Are they going to be great in the snow? But they're going to be better than the Nankang NS2Rs. Now this is going on a rotor wheel, and it's a 18 by 8.5 ET30 wheel. So I've got wheel spacers just in case, because I'm not sure how they're going to look, but we'll stick this one on and see how it looks. If need be, we'll put a spacer on. Next up, just put a little bit of copper slip on there just to make sure that it doesn't seize on next time. We also clean the spigot ring, and then we're going to pop on the wheel. Now I haven't run tyre pressure monitoring systems on this one. I've not got TPMSs fitted, and that's because I wanted to ask you guys and girls if you knew any good quality and not extortionately expensive ones that I can use. They can be fitted afterwards. It's just from Toyota, they're really expensive, but there are a lot of them out there, and there are some horror stories of them just not working, not being able to code up to the car. So if you know any, put in the comments down below, and that'd be muchly appreciated. So there we go. Those are the new wheel nuts on. Now we're still doing the centre caps and we've got the valve stems to do, but it's looking good. We'll drop the car down, see how it's looking and see whether it's worth putting a spacer on or not. So the ride is a little bit high because it's just been jacked up and that will settle when we torque up and stuff like that. But those are the string theory spacers. We're pretty much bang on. So I don't think we do need them. Yeah, so these wheels are ET30, the other one's ET35. So these are 5mm further out. And looking from the top, I'm pretty much perfect fitment. So let's torque them up. And the wheels are done to 103 Newton meters. Now onto the front, and exactly the same as the rears, but just with a bigger disc getting in the way. We are cleaning the calipers while we're here as well, and then let's get these wheels on and let's have a look at the final example. There we go, and there's a front wheel on. Cleaned up the caliper while we're here. You can see the fitment. If we look from the top, it's pretty much bang on. That's from the top, you can just barely see the spokes poking out. It is a little bit high because we just jacked it up, but we'll go and add on a valve cap and then we'll look at finishing this up. So these are new valve caps, just brought these online. I'm going to take off the old ones. These are some rally art ones that the wheels came with. There you go, and that looks a lot more stealthy with the satin black wheel lugs, and then we're going to have a satin black centre cap here as well. So there we go, as you can see, nice satin black finish. Not perfect, but definitely a lot better. We'll stick on some of these stickers and then we'll go and fit them and see how they look as a completed article. So prepared the surface with the provided IPA wipe, just giving it a clean down and then allowing that to dry. And then these are just self-adhesive, basically gel stickers that go on there perfectly. Perfect, so now we can go and fit these onto the wheels and see how they look as the completed items. Nice. So there we go, we've just done a refresh of our car for 2025. So changing the colour of the wheels and the style of the wheel can really change the look of your car and freshen it up, ready for the new year. Really good, really happy with the results. This is like a Lamborghini Imola Bronze, if memory serves me correctly. So a massive shout out to 24 Wheels to Go. Without them it wouldn't be possible. Now this is not sponsored or anything like that. I just went up as just a normal paying customer and this is the results that we got. I think it finishes off well with a nice satin black centre cap as well. And if you like this video, please slam that like down the bottom there, because that really helps. If you didn't, if you got some feedback, you think it was a crap video, give it a thumbs down, but put a comment down below how I can do it better. And until next time, goodbye.